Hangover Hill Limited is a company that encompasses both strands of what I do for a living. Hangover Hill itself is a recording studio, but I also have a live act, which is known as Matt Black, Piano Man. But the company, Limited as a company, was formed to encompass all the business doings of those two income streams. The biggest inspiration was not to do anything for a living. It was I was always a pianist. I didn't learn to play the piano. I learned by ear. As I was a kid, I was just mucking about on a piano. And as I got older, I realised people wanted me to play the piano, and I could earn money at it. So it became my primary income source. So I decided to follow that along. And as that grew, a reputation grew, and I wanted to record my own CDs. I wanted to record my own CDs to sell at gigs and things like that, or tapes as it was in those days, cassette tapes. So I bought some second-hand equipment to record an electric piano in the bedroom of a house, and just plugged it in. Basically, it was an electric piano and a tape recorder. There wasn't even an EQ or anything like that involved. It was just directly out from the piano, and I started to do tapes. But then I realised the limitations of doing it that way. So I started to buy more gear, learn about actually how to record properly, how to treat the recordings, how to treat them, how to master them, mix them. The more you learn, the more you realise you don't know. But as you buy more equipment, it starts to sort of form a recording studio, a personal recording studio. And roughly 5 years ago, it started to become commercial. When people that I knew I had a recording studio, they wanted to do something similar, but didn't have the money to set up their own studio, so they wanted to use mine. So we worked out an hourly rate, and before you know it, it started to become a commercial enterprise. And that's grown because the results we were getting are what people wanted. So they kept coming back and taking their I have different stage personas on what I do on stage, because many events are different. Stage persona changes depending on which gig you're doing. For example, I'll do a military do. Say someone's got married and from the army, and he wants a stag party at one of the bases. And you can imagine how raucous that can be. Then they don't want to hear Song for Guy by Elton John. They want to hear real hard rock, and then some naughty jokes, some jokes you wouldn't tell to your grandmother or your mother. So then you'll do a wedding probably the next day, and that's completely a different demographic. There is a lot more respect. So people having the two people are getting married, they want to remember the day with fondness. They've got their family, they've got children there. So the humour will, if there's any humour at all, will have to be a lot more based on the people around you. So my stage persona at that point won't be the rebel. It'll be someone that they can rely on, that they can trust. And at that point, you can then tell them something funny, because they know that they're not nervous about you going over the line.